So last class we discussed this capital budgeting evaluation techniques and the payback period method and AR method we discussed. And two are left. That is average rate of return method. Okay. So we completed theory parts as well as yes. Okay. So there are some serious limitations in. Wait a minute. Yes. So in last class, we were discussing about this uh, capital budgeting evaluation techniques. There are two types. One is traditional or called as non-discounting cash flow methods. Under the three methods are there: payback period method, so improvised payback period method, accounting or average rate of return also we discuss. Today we are going to discuss these modern method are also called as discounted cash flow methods. Under net present value method, NPV method is a very popular. IRR method, internal rate of return method, profitability index method, modified IRR method. These four methods we are going to discuss in detail. Okay.
Okay.
Now we go directly move to this NPV, net present value method. Net present value method. Discounted cash flows. Cash flows are discounted. For example, as earlier also we discussed, suppose a company has initial investment is about 10 lakhs. The company is ready to invest 10 lakhs rupees to start a business or a project. So this is cash outflow. Cash outflow. This is cash outflow. Because of these cash outflows, the firm is to be received in the future. Cash inflows are 5,000, 8,000, 12,000, 15,000, right? Like 16,000. These are the estimated cash flows. So if the firm invests this amount, we assume that the firm may receive first year end 50,000, second year end 80,000, third year end 12,000, fourth year 15,000, sixth year 16,000 rupees of cash flows the firm may receive. So these are the future cash flows. These are the future cash flows. These future cash flows are discounted. These cash flows are discounted. Why we are going to discount these future cash flows are, now we are taking the decision is today. So this cash outflow is a present value. Present value. These are the future values. Right? So what we can do is these future values are discounted and taking as a present values. Then we take a decision. What is the cash outflow? The cash outflow is 10 cash. The present value 10 lakhs rupees. What about this? Inflows values and outflow values both will take in present values. Then we considered is this project is feasibly okay or not? Is it profitable or not? Okay. Under C, very simple calendar. These are the future cash flows, right? So future cash flows are discounted.
Yes.
Future cash flows are discounted. Why you're going to discuss? The discuss is the present value is whatever the invested 10,000 rupees today's value, and these are the future values. So future values always discounted. Okay. Present values are compounded in future values. So what we can do in this method, future values are converted into present values in this discounted methods. So very popular method is NPV, net present value method. So what is the NPV? NPV is the difference between present value of future cash inflows and the present value of initial outlay. So as we discussed here, 10,000 rupees, these are the cash flows, right? So this is the discounted at the form cost of capital. So nothing but the cost. So capital is not available free of cost. There is a cost is there. So cost of capital. So earlier I told you, we are going to discount it, right? The future cash flows are discounted. And what percent we are going to discuss? We will take the percentage of cost of capital percentage. So these future values, 8,000, 5,000, 15,000, like these future cash flows are discounted with this cost of capital percentage. For example, it's a 10%. Now these are converted, suppose it is 7,000 something. It comes under 4,000 something. It comes under 7,000. So it comes on 12,000. Like the values are discounted. The future values are discounted. I will show you the problem how to calculate this NP method. So NP method, the very simple, the present values, inflow of present value, inflow of inflow value, outflow value will compare. Okay. If NPV should be, so this is the method to calculate. NPV is equal to present value of cash inflows after discounted value, present value of cash inflows minus initial investments. So whatever the project is going to start, some required, right? Earlier I told you the amount is 10,000 rupees. So this is the value. Okay. Suppose, so these values 10,000 as per our earlier example, initial investment is 10,000 rupees. Right? So present values are converted into future values are converted to present values. This value may be 15,000. 15,000 rupees. So minus 10,000. Answer is plus 5,000, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
it is called positive NPV. Positive NPV. Positive NPV. We can accept the projects. Okay. So present value cash flows are higher than the initial investment. We can accept the project. Suppose it is also 10,000. 10,000 equal means it is zero NPV. Still we accept the projects. Positive NPV or zero is also we can accept the project. Why? Because these future cash flows are discounted with cost of capital. Discounted cost of capital. Most of the public sector units are using this NPV method. Okay. Suppose see that here, higher this present value, higher the cost, we can accept the project. If it is lower than, we can reject the project. So if it is a positive, we can accept the project. Greater than zero. If negative less than zero, we can reject the project. Present value of cash inflows, see nothing but initial investment or cash outlays. Initial outlay, cash outlays. So this is the one problem is there. A firm whose cost of capital is 10%, considering two mutually exclusive projects, X and Y, the details of which are under particulars, X project and Y project. X project investment is same 50,000, 50,000. The life of the project is 5,000, 5,000. The cost is also same. The tax is also same. But here the cash flows are different. Cash flow before depreciation and taxes. Cash flows before depreciation and taxes. So here the investment is same, life is same, tax rate is same. The only difference is the cash flows are different from project X and project Y. I think you got a point, Kalyan garu.
Yes, sir.
Everything is same except the cash flows.
Yeah.
Except the cash flows are different about the two projects. Right? So see here which project we are going to select. We need to we can take only one. We can't take two. We can accept only one project. And NPV based on NP method will select which project is better. Okay. So here earlier I told you that is what we call cash flow means what? Cash flow. Cash inflow. Cash inflow, nothing but PAT plus depreciation. PAT plus depreciation is called cash flows, cash inflows. So whatever the amount given here, this is cash flow before depreciation and taxes. First, we reduce the depreciation. Okay, how we can reduce the depreciation? The plant value divided by life of this plant. So these 10,000 rupees is there. How we can calculate it? 50,000 rupees divided by 5 years. So we'll get every year the depreciation amount is 10,000, 10,000 is fixed. 10,000, 10,000. Right. So cash flows minus depreciation will get net profit before tax. Now we are deducting the tax. 50% on cash flows. 10,000, 50%, 5,000, 12,000, 6,000, 18,000, 9,000, 15,000, 7.5, 7,500, 20,000, this amount. Now this is called PAT, profit after tax. Okay, after 10,000 minus 5,000, the answer is 5,000. 12,000 minus 6,000, 6,000. 18,000, 9,000, 9,000. 15,000, like this amount. Now we need cash flows. Cash flows after tax. Figure 80, cash flows after tax. How will get this amount? Adding these two. Adding these two, we'll get this amount. Adding this amount. So in examination, directly examiner make you this direct the last column. Okay. Any doubts?
No, sir. I do.
This is the project X cash flows. So this is this discounted value. See the cost of capital given is a 10%. 10% cost of capital given here, 10%. So here also we'll take the cash flows after tax, 15,000, 16,000, 19,000, 75,000. So these are the present value figures. Present value, we can see the table A3, then we'll get these figures. 10% discount factor values. Discount cash flows at 10%. So this value. So see, you can see there the total value of total present value of cash inflows. Just we are multiplying these two, 15,000 this much. If you multiply this, what it means, at the end of 5th year, you are receiving 20,000. But today's value is only 12,420. At the end of 5 years, you receive 20,000 is okay. But now the present value, today we are going to take a decision. Today's value is 12,420. So 12,420 is the present value. It is the future values. So what is our topic here? Net present value. Net present value. So this is the present value. This is the future values. At the end of 4th year, the firm may receive 17,500, but the today's value is this much.
7,000.
11,000. Third year ending, the firm receive this much, but today's value is much. Okay. The future values are discounted at 10% rate of discount. See, what is the decision here? The cash, total present value of cash inflows are 64,000, 65,490 to 50 paise, but initial investment is 50,000 rupees. So this is the positive NPV. Now we can accept the project. We can accept. Why we can accept the project? The firm inflows are higher than this outflows. The outflows are 50,000, inflows are 65,000 plus amount is there. We can accept the projects as per this NPV method. We can accept this X project. Now we compare X project to Y project. Same process is same. See here 16,744 rupees. So it is higher positive value compared this. So it is 15,000 rupees are positive. Here 16,000 is positive. So since the NPV of project Y is higher than that project X, it is advised to select project Y. Why project Y is selected? Because it is higher positive value compared to X project. Okay. Out of these two, the firm may select project B rather project Y rather than project X. Okay. So like this, if it is a mutual exclusive project, the firm is take the option A, B, C project, X, Y, Z project. Which project is more profitable, more a positive NPV. So here, this is directly given. Cash flows after tax directly given. The cost of capital is 10%. Cost of your 10% and initial investment is 2 lakhs rupees. Very simple. First column you write like year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now cash flows are 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000. The cash flows are similar. So the cash flows are no change. The cash flows are
Good.
similar cash flows. We can simply calculate it is 50,000 into 10% cumulative value, 3%, 3.791% this much amount. So it is a negative NPV. It is negative NPV. Minus it is a negative NPV. We will reject the project. We are not accept the project. We are rejecting the project as per NPV method. Okay. You have a doubt, sir. Earlier we take this 9.9, 8.9. We are not taking here. Why it is we're not taking here is we'll take as a cumulative value. Why? Because the cash flows are same for all the years. If the cash flows are similar, we can go for table A4, otherwise we'll go to table A3 values. We'll see that. So this method is recognizing the time value of money. Very easy to understand, and everyone is followed. Most of the companies are following this method. So this method also some limitations are there. We'll continue after the IRR. Next method is NPV is very much useful capital budgeting practices being a true profitably measure. True profitably measure. Next method is internal rate of return method. Internal rate of return. So here cost of capital is we assume that the cost of capital is 10%. Right? So NPV method, the cost of capital we assume that 10%, 12%, 8%. It depends upon this company policy. They will assume that the cost 10, 12, 15, 13%. But whereas this IRR method, no percentage is there. IRR percentage, we need to calculate the percentage. So this technique is also known as yield on investments, marginal productivity of capital, marginal efficiency of capital, rate of return, time adjusted rate of return, so on. So this is also very, so many people are using this investment decision. What is IR, internal rate of, how much return is giving, right? So this is method how to compute. If any two projects are there, uneven cash flows will see that. Here a project cost is 32,000 and is expected generate cash inflows are 16,000, 14,000, 12,000. In the next 3 years, calculate IRR. Okay, so let us assume that we are assuming this percentage. Earlier, we are not assuming, we expected this 10% cost of capital. But here cost of capital is expected randomly a positive NPV of 10%. See, this is the cash flows 16,000, 14,000, 12,000. These 12, 16,000, 14,000, 12,000. And we assume that 10% cost of capital values. Now we multiplied with 16,000 into these percentages, we'll get present value of cash inflows. After discounting, 16,000 convert as a 14,000 change, 14,000 to 11,564, 12,000, 9,000. And another figure we are assuming, 18% we assume that under 18%, these 16,000 into multiplied with this percentage, 14,000 this percentage, 12,000 this percentage. Now we can see that the positive NPV here the negative NPV is there. Positive NPV at 10% level and 18% it is a negative NPV. Mean IRR higher than this 10%. See that higher than 10%. Total present value of cash flow at lower rate, present value of cash outflows. So this is 35,120 minus 32,000 cash outflow divided by 35,120 by these 39,000. The percentage is 15.93%. So here the assumption is in this method, IRR method, these cash flows are reinvested again. For example, we 32,000 rupees initial outflow is there, and these are the profits are there. So whatever these cash flows are reinvested at the same percentage. That is the basic assumption of IRR method. ఓకే అంటే వచ్చిన లాభాన్ని తిరిగి వాళ్ళు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తారు. ఏ పర్సెంట్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేస్తారు? ద పర్సెంటేజ్ ఇస్ సేమ్ ఎట్ ది రేట్ ఆఫ్ 10% దే ఆర్ ఇన్వెస్టింగ్. సో హయ్యర్ IRR is always advantage. Higher RR always advantage. The present value factor is initial investment by annual cash flows. If the cash flows are same, we'll use this. So your decision making is if the IRR is greater than the cost of capital, we'll accept the project. Okay. IRR is internal rate of return. R nothing but is a return.
Yes.
The return is higher than, for example, return is it is 12%. It is 15%. We will accept the project. Return is 15%. The cost is 10%. We can accept the project. For example, this is a 10% cost. Return is only 8%. We will reject the project. Earlier method, IRR method, NPV method, what we can do is in decision making NPV method, positive or zero NPV, we are accept the projects. Negative project, we are rejecting here.
Yes.
But here, R is greater than, we can accept the project. R is less than the cost, we can reject the project. But in IRR method, R is calculated. R is calculated. Okay. So whatever the cash flows are, these cash flows are investment at same percentage. Okay. So it is very popular method. It considers the time value of money. It also take into account the total cash flows, the total project cash flows generated by any project over the life of the project. The total project life will consider it. So IRR is much acceptable capital budgeting method in real life as it measures profitability of the project in percentage, and it can be easily compared with opportunity of cost of capital. Okay, so it is consistent with overall objective of wealth maximization, shareholders wealth maximization. Minutes also. So the difference between IRR and the NPV is both are consider the time value of money, but the decision making are differ one method to one technique to another technique. When the projects under consideration involvement, conventional cash flows, when the inflows, initial cash outflows is followed by a series of cash flows. Okay, so here NPV is positive, accept, NPV is negative, reject, NPV 0 is also accept. So IRR method again we discuss. Okay, so here in reinvestment of cash flows. Both NPV and IRR method presume that the cash flows can be reinvested, discount rate with the new project. So whatever these are, they are reinvested. But NPV is more eligible uh, mutual exclusive projects. Now one more method is there, profitability index method. What is the profit? Here profit index is also called as PI method. Benefit to cost method is similar to NPV approach. Okay. Suppose we invested today 1 rupee. Is I'm getting the same 1 rupee or not. Okay. So this method is also calculated. So if it is more than 1 rupee, we can act with the project. Less than 1 rupee, we are rejecting the project. Okay, the PA ratio is more than 1, we can accept. This is the 1. More than 1, we can accept. Less than 1, we'll reject. If or may not be accept, may not be accept when PA is equal to 1. The firm is indifferent to the objectives. Okay. So I will show you how to calculate this PA. So this is the problem. Calculate the profitability index from the information. The cost of the project, rupees 6 lakhs. Life of the project, 5 years. Annual cash inflows, it is 2 lakhs rupees per year, 5 years. Cut-off rates, nothing but cost of capital or capitalization rates, hurdle rate, standard rates. Okay, so we are using various names, cut-off to 10%. So first to take every year 2 lakhs rupees and the 3.791, the table value, we are multiplied with 2 lakhs into this percentage. 2 lakhs into this percentage. 2 lakhs of this, we'll get this. Okay. So here 7 lakh 58,200 by 6 lakhs rupees investment, this amount. So we will get 1.263 to 1.263. What it means, it is more than 1. More than 1, we will accept the projects.
Yes.
Profit will take method. If it is more than 1, we can accept the projects. So why it will take here is, it is cash flows are similar. Cash flows are same for 2 lakhs every year. So this is another method. The initial cash outlay of the project is 1 lakh rupee. And it generates cash inflows of rupees 40,000 1 year, first year, second year 30,000, third year 50, fourth year 20,000. So like we'll take these cash flows after ends. Now discount factor at 10%. Now we are multiplying these two. Same like similar to NPV method, we are multiplying. We are multiplying these two. Now we'll get this answer. So amount is 1,12,350. It is higher than this 1 lakh rupees.
Yes, sir.
Actually, it is more than 1. It is more than 1. We will accept the projects. Okay. It is similar to NPV method. Kalangar, you want to say something?
No, sir. Continue. No, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So here it is also considered all these life of the project. If it is a 2-3 projects are there, we'll give the ranking, which project getting higher more than 1 rupee, that will be accepted. So PA method is sound method. Also same NPV also we follow. Okay. Now modified internal rate of return method, MIR. MIRR. M nothing but modified. Okay. So this is a very popular method. Most of the companies also using this method, modified. Okay. So these are these cash flows in a million. This is the cash outflow of 1,20,000. The first year is negative. So no cash flows. So second year out the firm will get this revenues. So present values of this much 1.15. This is value. So this is Evaluation MIR is superior than this regular IRR in two ways. So MIR assume that the project cash flows are reinvested at the cost of capital, where regular IRR assume that the project cash flows are reinvested its own project. Okay, it's reinvestment cost of capital where IRR they can invest any other sources. The profit multiple rate is different. Okay. So capital rationing. The capital rationing nothing but the firm, how they allocating this cash capital. But see that how they are allocating. For example, we are need to construct the house. We need to allocate this construction purpose, decorative, interior decorative purpose, and other works will like companies also, whatever they mobilize, whatever this capital are there, the capital are rationing based on the priority wise. They are deciding how much amount is required for this project, how much required this project. So like see that this is this initial investment project 2 lakh. There are 4 projects are there, A, B, C, D. So this project required 3 lakh, this project 2 lakh, this project 2 lakh 50,000, 6 lakhs rupees are required. The present value of 60,000. This is the present value with the positive value. After calculating NPV, all are positive NPVs. All are positive NPVs. And we'll get PA also. So this project getting higher PA value. Right? So which project we are going to start highest? Highest one will see that. So ranking, see which project will giving highest. See that in terms of positive year 1.8, but it gives a second rank.
Yes, sir.
Right? But 1,50,000, it is a first rank. C project is a first rank. Why the PA value is 1.6. This is the first project, first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. But we are not, if you the firm cannot consider the PA. So this is the first rank, second rank, third rank, fourth rank. Right? Why we are ranking a change? The investment proportions also change. So this C project required only 1 lakh, 2 lakh 50,000. But whereas project D required 6 lakhs rupees. Within the 6 lakhs rupees, the firm can start 2 projects, 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs, only 5 lakhs rupees. Okay. Project C is full and D is a part of 4 lakh 50,000 will maximize the NPV. Instead of starting this project, the firm can start this project first. Then the firm give for investment this project. Then like this, priority wise, the firm can invest, right? So the problem is the limited capital is there. If the firm has unlimited capital, they can start 4 projects. But out of these 4, which project they can start early? Right? They can choose which project giving higher. This is only 2 lakhs, so that's sufficient to get, and highest PA is also there. Right? So project C is a full, and project D is will be maximize NPV. Okay. So suppose in device, we can divide project 1, project 2, project 3. Some project we can't divisible. We cannot divisible the projects. All are interlinked. All are integrated. So at that time, what we can help with them of the linear programming methods are there. Using linear program, we can start which project early. Okay, linear programming method we can go in. So after this, we'll move to another topic. Right. Risk analysis and capital budgeting. So business is a risk, right? Without business, there is no, without risk, there is no firm is there. So any business, the risk is mandatory, is voluntary. Risk is there. Without it, the firm is not there. So whatever we discussed earlier, we assume that if the firm starts at a business, it's a project is 10 lakhs rupees, right? Which is initial investment or initial outlay. And we assume that the cash flows are like 6,000 first year, 8,000, 12,000, 15,000, 14,000. These are the cash flows, are estimated cash flows. We are not started the business. We assume that if you start at 10 lakhs rupees a capital, the returns, the not return, the cash flows are this much. The cash flows are 6,000, 8,000, 12,000, 15,000, 40,000. But in practice, whatever we estimated are not the same. There are various factors are influencing our business. So nobody can expect the impact of COVID. No author, no book, no scientist. No one expected the impact of COVID. So, like any business, there are so many the risk factors. Some risks are within the firm. Some risks are outside computer side. Sometimes is a global. Sometimes is a political. Like various sources are there, right? Suppose we assume that everything is okay, then our decision is good. But instead of 6,000, first year we receive 8,000. It's okay, good. Second year 8,000, we receive 10,000. It is also good. Third year, instead of 12,000, we received only 5,000. Fourth year, instead of 50,000, we'll receive only 5,000. And the fourth year, we receive only 2,000. So whatever we estimations are wrong. You estimated everything is correct. If anything goes wrong, this is okay. But in practice, the firm is facing some risk. Now see here, the difference is there. Capital budgeting. The budgeting is estimations. These are the estimations. These are the actuals. Actuals are different from budgeted figures. Why it is different? Because of the risk is involving. The risk nothing but whatever we expected, whatever we received. We expected 6,000, it's good, but we receive 8,000. That it is good. The risk is, there is no risk is there. But whereas the last 3 years, the risk is very high. Okay. So capital budgeting very simple. The risk nothing but whatever we expected, it is different from actual. Am I clear?
Yes,
Am I
sir.
clear? Huh?
Yes, sir.
We estimated good, everything is goes smoothly, is okay. But in practice, not like this, right?
Yeah, correct, sir.
There are so many factors that influencing. See that if the Tesla cars allowed in India, the impact of automobile industry in India,
Yes,
EV sector.
yes,
So if Starlink, if the Elon Musk Starlink allowed in India, we see the impact in Geo Mobile, VI Mobile, and other allied sectors. Right? There's so many factors are influencing this existing business in the new business also. Right? So risk is very simple and simple layman understanding. The difference between expected and actual is called as a risk. Expected and actual. But we take a decision based on the expectations. Okay. But in practice, it may be correct, it may be wrong. Okay. So here, certainty, uncertainty. Certainty means what? We expected 8,000. We received 8,000. Certainty is there. There is no risk. We estimated 8,000. So this is budgeted figure. This is actual figure. It is same. There is no risk is there. Is there a risk is there? No. So like certainty, for example, why the people invest in a bank? The amount is safe. Right? The bank, see that the difference between the bank and the stock market. In a bank, the return is 6%. You assume you received only 6%. Right? Bank deposits. For example, in stock market, you assume that your stock may be performed at give us a 12% return, but actually it gives only 6% return. It is deferred, the 6% is risk is there. Now your return equal to bank return. What we assume that, so banks is giving only 6% return. So if I invest in stock market, my return may be 12%. But actually, if your stocks gave only 6% are equivalent to stock market, equivalent to bank return. Uncertainty. The word is uncertainty. Uncertainty is nothing but whatever we expected, it is defer for receivable. It is a situation where the probable events are unknown, like COVID or earthquakes, tsunamis, okay, global changes, environmental changes. There are uncertainties. We can't control the uncertainties. The firm doesn't manage these uncertainties. Right? Risk can be managed, risk can be minimized, risk can be transferred. Okay, risk can be avoidable, risk can be avoidable. But whereas uncertainties, we can't, returns are predicted where no returns are assumed by corporates in uncertainty conditions. The risk, the risk can be either, the risk may be defined variation between actual cash flows and expected cash flows. So this is very simple. The variance between actual cash flows from expected cash flows. Expected cash flows are 8,000 and we received only 6,000. The difference variation is called risk. Okay. So difference between expected cash flows and actual cash flows, it is called risk. In terms of capital budgeting, decision may be defined as variability that is likely to occur in the future between estimated and actual returns. Means expected future returns and actual returns. Okay. What's the source of risk? The source of risk is size of investment. Higher the investment, higher the risk. Lower the investment, lower the risk. We can't. We will. Risk is higher, right? If we invest higher amount, your return is very high, but risk is at the same very high. Life of the projects, higher the life of the project, sometimes higher the risk is involving. Lower the life, lower the risk is there. Right? You can see this some projects 30 years. See the Metro, Hyderabad Metro is more than 30 years of lifelong project. Sometimes 50 years. See the outer ring road projects are more than 50, 30 years. Whatever these highway roads, 30, 40, is the power projects. These are the higher risk. Right? See that government decided everyone has installed their own solar power in their houses. See that the impact of these projects. Okay, the general economic condition. So if the country's economic conditions are good, then naturally the people spending more amounts, like monetary interest rate, repo rate, reverse repo rate, physical employment, inflation rate, poverty, and social economic condition, political situations. Everything is smooth. Then every firm getting a good return. If political uncertainty, higher inflation rates, higher interest rates are not good for the business, right? So see that nowadays the interest rates are very high higher in taking a real estate market or in high inflation rates. The people are postponing to buy a house, right? So general economic condition, industry factor. Some industries are performing well, some industries are not performing well. Okay, because of some material, because of material not available, labor is not available, and see that some industries are what we call the reach phase. So every industry has a life cycle. Like this is the life cycle, right? So initial stage, growth stage, maturity stage, declining stage. Right? Suppose the firm is there, there's no possible to growth. You can see some of the examples of two-wheelers in India. The two-wheeler sales are not growing 20 to 50, 20%. I assume that it's growing higher rates. Kalyan Garu, two-wheeler.
Yes, sir.
Two-wheeler not growing 20% growth rate. It's increased by only
Not going.
5 to 10%, less than 10%. Maybe 6 to 8% of growth of these two-wheelers.
Yes.
We can take these cycles. We can take televisions. These are saturation stage. The firm is already saturated. We can't produce. No, the firm's ready to produce, but the buyers having the already project. Those are adding only the replacement and see that even the small car segment also. Okay, so growth industry factor, the company factor also within the company, the management change or strike of the employees, right? So within the firm, the stakeholders are brothers. You see the situation of Anil Ambani, Mukesh Ambani issue, or within the firm, board of directors are not correct, and see that brothers they are splitting over these shares in the market. So like so many company factors also influencing, or sudden death of a company CEO, or see that the government imposing ban of the company products, or see that some foreign companies say that these projects not standardized to our policies, then it's a company factors.
Yes, sir.
Company factors. See the particularly pharma industry, and the foreign companies will follow a very tight policy. If any slight change is there, they won't accept. Even I have some video I have seen that even washrooms also very hygienic washrooms are required for this pharma sector.
Yeah.
Then the conventional techniques for evaluation of these methods are uh, consideration of risk also. Whatever this NPV, IRR, payback method are not considered the risk portion. They considered only time value of money, not they consider the risk portion. Risk portion. So these methods are considered the risk. These methods are considered risk. Payback period method. Earlier also we discussed payback method. Okay. Then risk adjusted rate method, certainty equivalent method, sensitivity method. Okay. The payback method also same earlier. So this is the cash outflow. So the firm investing 10 lakhs, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. These are the cash flows. Riskless discount rate is 5%. Riskless. Project A is risky compared to project B. How? Project A is risky, less risk compared to project B. How?
Yeah, growth slow, sir. I think
These cash flows are 60,000,
cash,
70,000.
yes, sir, 50,000.
Here 1.3 lakhs, right? First year only the firm receiving 60,000. The year receives 40,000. So different is 10,000 difference is there. You
10,000.
can take second year. Here it is difference is 30,000.
30,000.
Here is 10,000. So here project A receiving early cash flows. Project B is receiving early cash flows. Project A receiving very delay. Even the total also see that it is 1.7, 1,70,000. This is 1,20,000. Right? So project A is less risky than the project A. Project B is less than A. The management considers risk premium of 5%, 5 and 10% respectively. 5%, 10% respectively. So same 1 lakh and same 50,000, the discount factor. So it is positive NPV is 1,020 rupees. Here positive NPV 31,440. The same projects. Okay, B project is superior to A project. Since the both are positive, but higher value is this much. Okay, so you can see that these percentages. So adjusted discount rate method is A project is discount rate plus 5%. So 5%, 5%, 10%, 5% and 10%, 15%. Okay, 15%. Next one is certainty equivalent method. Certainty, what chances are getting the amount? Okay, certainty equivalent method. Suppose earlier also I told you, so 8,000 we assume. Sorry, 8,000. What is the chances are of getting these 8,000 rupees? 12,000 rupees. Cash flows. Okay. So if you invested 10,000 rupees, these cash flows are estimated 8,000, 12,000, 15,000, and 12,000, 10,000, 8,000. These cash flows estimated. What is the chances? Certainty equal. How much amount will get? Either we will get 60% chances are there. 60% chances are there to get 80,000 rupees. 60% chances. I mean, 60% we assured will get. 6% amount will at least get. Here 80% amount will get, and at least 90% amount will get. At least we get 50% amount. So like these are the certainty equivalents. So suppose we are not getting 8 lakhs, 80,000. At least we'll get 6,000.
Yes.
You're not getting 12,000. At least we'll get 8,000.
8,000.
No, certainty equivalents. Okay. Certainty equivalence amount. Certainty equivalent coefficient is equal to riskless cash flows by risky cash flows. Riskless cash flows by risky cash flows. Okay. So here, these are these cash flows. Earlier I told you this. Instead of getting 1,20,000, the firm may get at least 10,80,000. Okay. So this is called certainty equivalent value. 1 lakh, 12 lakhs is good. But in worst case, the firm may get at least 10,80,000 rupees. They're estimated 6 lakhs. But in worst case, the firm may get 85% amount, that is 5,10,000 rupees. 14 lakhs, but anything goes wrong, the firm at least gets 11,20,000, 80% amounts. Right? So like these are these cash flows investment, the project value. But whatever this earlier method, this NPV IRR, will take a decision, only this figure base. Not consider the risk, we're not consider the risk, no risk. We assume that there is no risk in this firm, there is no risk in the business. But these are we considered nothing but after adjusted risk. Risk adjusted. Risk adjusted. Risk adjusted. Okay. So here, this method we consider both time value of money and risk also. Time value of money and risk also. So this certainty equivalent method is very simple to calculate, easy to understand. So instead of 12 lakhs, we'll take 10,80,000 only. This method exploit zero recognize the risk. This method is considered the risk is there. It is superior method, adjusted method like. Next one is sensitivity analysis. Sensitivity analysis, right? Sensitivity nothing but something is a pessimistic, most likely, and best time. See that the firms, the industry will move either 3 conditions. Maybe the firm is worst case, the firm is most likely, nothing but average, and the firm may be best. 3 situations are there, 3 sensitivities are there. Okay, so like here the form is given. Do Well Company is an equipment manufacturing wants to choose the better of 2 investments, A and B. Each project requires an investment initial cash outflow 10 lakhs rupees. The same amount is required, 10 lakhs, 10 lakhs. And each has most annual rate of return is 15%. Management has made pessimistic and optimistic estimations returns associated with each project below. Pessimistic, optimistic. Worst case and best case. Worst case and best case. So pessimistic means worst situation. This is best situation. The form is only 2 way, right? Either best or like the worst. There is no third choice, suppose. Right? If it is the worst case, form A generates 13% return. B generates 10%. So which one is better in worst case, A or B?
A is better, sir.
A is a better.
Yes, sir.
In a pessimistic condition, see that pessimistic is a best condition. Project A getting only 12%, so 22%. Project B is 27%. Now we'll select this one, right?
Yes, sir. 27%.
27% we select.
Yes.
But in a business, in a life of the business, so like we can't see the all the period is worst. We can't see the all the period is best. Can you see that same the last 5 years, same worst case or same best case?
It's up and down. Yeah.
It's ups and downs are there. Out of 5 years, the firm like this.
Yes.
So this is this best time. This is the worst time. So this is the best time. This is the worst time. Again, best time, worst time. Best time, worst time. Right? So best time, everyone's get a good profit. But worst time. So now you tell me which project is better? A or B project? Considering that these two.
B project is best, I think.
I say that A project is better. We'll see the answer.
Okay.
Pessimistic 13%, 10%. And most likely means average. It's a given the average is most likely is 15%. 15% most likely. Same.
Okay.
27%. The range is 9% and 17%. Optimistic minus pessimistic. The gap is 9%. Here gap is 70%. A is better since the rate of the range of return is less when compared to B project. A project is better since the range of return is less than 9.
Okay.
Gap between these two gaps 10 to 17, 70% gap is there. 19, 22, 9% gap is there. Out of these two, higher the gap, higher the risk. Lower the gap, lower the risk. Okay. So like it helps to decision maker to understand the project is totally. It indicates the critical values, critical variables which have the negative impact the project NPV and IRR. Okay. Now these probability methods are there, standard deviation coefficients are there. But in examination, we expect only certainty coefficient method. Okay. So after that, in block 3, tomorrow we'll start the block 3. In the block 3 also there are 4 topics are there. One is source of finance, theoretic part, capital structure, cost of capital, and leverage analysis. Like there are 4 units are there under financing decision. As earlier told you, the financial management, there are 3 functions are there. Investment function, finance function, dividend function. So for last 2 days, we discussed this. We discussed investment. This is done. Now tomorrow we are going to discuss financing decision. Under financial decision, there are 4 units are there. What is the source of finance? What is the capital structure, cost of capital, leverage analysis? Okay. Any doubts? Yes, Kalan.
డౌట్స్ ఏం లేవు సార్. అంటే నోట్స్ మేము కొద్దిగా రాసుకోవడానికి నాకు అంటే కొద్దిగా నేను తెలుగు మీడియం స్టూడెంట్ని యాక్చువల్గా.
Okay. So do one thing na. Chart me. I will send some material.
ఓకే.
Okay. So this is my number.
ఓకే.
Okay.
సార్.
So whenever the time permits, I will share material. Okay.
Okay.
Karthik also, please share with Karthik. I will share this material.
ఓకే.
Okay. Okay. Have a nice day. Tomorrow we'll meet at 3:30.
ఓకే. బాయ్.
Bye.